Namaste and welcome to class. And in this class we are going to talk a little bit about the meaning of life. All that question that is always in the background of your psyche, and sometimes we want to really find that direction for us to develop and to make it more meaningful, what we have in action. So let's start with the first premises is meaning have already been wired in your brain. So before you have to come into the form in your nervous system, you have all the codes that you had decided to explore in this life. And with that, you are emanating certain frequency for you to attract the type of coincidences that sustain that kind of meaning or exploration. That you don't need to worry about it. You have chose the parents, you have chose the siblings, you have chose your spouses, you have chose your experiences, you have chose the pain, absolutely everything. And it depends of the charge that you give to that experiences. It will have a positive meaning or a depleting meaning, right? So any experience that you may have, you can exalt it and use it for your exploration, or you can use it to put you down, to feel a victim of it. That's one thing. So it's already in motion. You don't need really to worry about it. The second type of meaning is when you start taking more responsibility of your actions. You start saying, okay, I am the creator of my reality, and therefore I can read all the different expressions that I have put outside. And that is the principle that anything inside of you is reflected outside of you. So when you have, let's say, an abusive part of you, you abuse yourself, you don't give permission yourself to explore new things, then you start manifesting people that are abusive in your life, that maybe they raise the voice or they show you that kind of limitation. Then you say, okay, the meaning of that person or that situation is reflecting my own position that is of that the same category. So all this projection outside of you is the meaning that you have in your subconscious, and the projection that is happening all the time. So your own creation sends you feedback at all times. Even small little things like unusual findings that you do in your walk, a flower that takes your attention. All that is reflecting where you are and your creation. So in that you can make a thought. You can make and say, okay, what is the meaning of this? But here is the trick. You cannot put a charge in the meaning. So let's say you see and read your own creation, say, oh, okay, I have manifested a chocolate cake. Is some kind of pleasure that is being calling, or what is really the chocolate cake meaning. You can reflect on that, you can meditate. But if you put a charge on it, you say, chocolate cake very good, but this person is very bad. In that way, then you get lost in the true meaning of things. Some meanings is reflected and you understand it in the moment because you need that information, and some others is just a ocean of coincidence where you are part of it, right? Because you are not isolated from the meaning of others, the creation of others. But if you give a charge, if you give a value, this is good, this is bad, then you are not able to read clearly what it belongs to you and what doesn't belong to you. Third thing, the meaning that you give to your creation, and this is something that you can do absolutely every moment of your life, where you find something, perhaps a painful situation of others, and somebody share that with you. You say, no, I felt pain, I feel discouraged on something, and you give a meaning, a different perspective of that situation to that other person. Then you are donating a meaning, a insight to other person, and that is the more powerful thing you can do, because it's in that moment where the person can take it or use it later, but it comes back to you not as a meaning but as a purpose. And in that action of meaning and purpose, you have a beautiful energy that retroalimentate, you say that? Feedback. It get the feedback all the time without you putting so much value in my life, myself, my creation, my thing. At one moment you have to let go of that. Instead, it's more of transforming the meaning that others have give to themselves in a negative way, and you give a different perspective that is more positive and more constructive. So meaning have different layers, right? So when you find those vocabularies within you, you are talking to your creation, and you are feeding your creation and the creation of others, and in that way you serve. You're expanding your vision of how others aid you and how you aid others. So meaning in another perspective, and sometimes we will get so discouraged. You say, what is the meaning of my life? What I should do? If you have that question, you are ready to sit and have a pause in your life. Have a pause, have a moment of silence where you are not confused by the opinion of others and the points of reference of others. Oh, I should be doing this, you are good at that, or you may, but it may not be the time quite yet. So just make a pause. In that pause, play things that interest you, play things that have no association with your ambition to become something else, or to display certain glories. Oh, I am this, I have a full meaning, I have an impact. This is all ego conversations. So don't get tortured with that. Just simply honestly sit and say, okay, if I want to find some kind of meaning in my life, I just pause, make that silence as a set up button, and then continue it in a natural way. Number one, natural way, pleasurable way. What gives you pleasure? So the physical pleasure and that heart pleasure that is really undescribable, even when you're doing the simple things like cooking or things. As you gather more energy in that, then you'll have a much more energy to read your external creation. Then the external creation will create the synchronicities and the vocabulary that you say, oh yeah, that's definitely that. If 5 people have show up that, oh, I have pleasure eating, you're cooking, then I'll cook. Then I'll bring that to an expansive expression or action, where I'm not only cooking for them, but I am always creating recipes or creating a blog or making something that is serving, and that you start having the meaning and the purpose completely having feedback to each other. So don't torture yourself. The meaning of life, this is really a trap of the ego to put you down, really, and because most of the most profound meaning you can have of your life is to be simple, to be loving, to be kind, to embrace all the totality of yourself without the expectations of what you should be or what you should do. So play, relax, have fun. Things are not as serious as you think. Thank you so much for sitting with me, and I'll see you in our next class. Namaste.